All right, folks, welcome back to Guitar Radio Show. Our next guest returns to us. He was with us during the pandemic and 2021, and he had his album out then called Headway. Since then, he's been incredibly busy. I can't wait to talk to him about the Mile End records because these records, they have meant a lot to me.
Hmm.
So I'm really looking forward to talking to him about that. And of course, his latest release, a duo record with Ash Sohn. I think I'm pronouncing that right, Sohn.
Yeah.
Um, please welcome back to the show, Mr. Ariel Posen. How are you, sir?
Good. I'm very good. How are you doing, my friend?
Congratulations on getting a signature Fender model. This is phenomenal.
Thank you. Yeah, it's funny because we've been working on this for like 2.5 years. So
Mm-hmm.
I tend to forget, I guess, the massiveness of it because I've been so in the weeds working on this for so long. But
Sure.
um, yeah, it's an incredible opportunity. I'm yeah, I'm incredibly grateful, and it's a very cool thing. I'm very stoked. Yeah.
It's and I was so it was so refreshing for me as a Fender fanboy to see a Strat that's just not three single coils and it's the same thing over and over again. You know what I mean? And I mean, I love Stratocasters. I have 16 Stratocasters. It's out of control. My wife says I have a big problem. Um, I don't disagree. But to see these two, well, one is a Jazz Master pickup, right? One's a P90. Is that what it is?
That's right.
And the Jazz Master pickup is in the neck, and the P90 is in the bridge. It was so, and choosing those cupcake knobs and all that. I mean, just the all the appointments to this guitar and the way it sounds. Obviously, it's nobody's going to sound like you. Although I know there's a lot of people out there that want to sound like you. It's just it's meat on metal on wood. That really is that's the real true test of sound and tone.
Right.
But this guitar started as something that you had built in the custom shop. Is that how it started?
Mm, yes and no. Like the backstory, first of all, like just to in between from what you were saying, and I'm glad you recognize you're seeing that, like, trying to do something a little different with
Yeah,
with the type of with the most like famous guitar ever, essentially.
yeah,
Um, and I never really connected. I feel like whenever I play a Strat with three single coils, I love it. I love it. But I like always just it sounds like such iconic players when you play like on that neck pickup or the you just feel like I never felt like I fully played like myself for some reason. And
hmm
I love the two pickups on a Strat body. I love the just one volume, one tone. The pickup switch, I'd always hit it where it was, so I've always liked it where that second tone. There's all these little things that I knew right out the gate. So like yeah, so then to answer your question, I had been messing around with a couple of Strats. I got my hands on like a couple regular like what are they, American vintage type models.
hmm
And I was telling, I'm always like talking to my friends at Fender. I was just telling them about what I was doing, and I was just I think it comes from a long time playing those mule guitars as well, which I still play. Like nothing's changing there. That's like
hmm
that's my go-to baritone guitar.
hmm
But I've always loved the cupcake knobs. I've loved the placement of where that knob is. So I had that going on these Strats, and I was trying different combinations and configurations of pickups, a lot of gold foils and stuff like that. And while they all sound great, um, I mean they look really cool, and they did sound great. And then this conversation started, and I actually just wanted to do like a custom shop. I just wanted to buy a custom shop version of this brainchild of what I had, and the guys at Fender were like, how about we just do a signature model? And I was like, what? Uh, I've been asked many times if I want to do a signature model, which is like from other companies, which is like an incredible honor. But a lot of the times that it's been asked, um, it's kind of just been like, yeah, you know what? Pick any model you like off the website, and we'll stick on a cool color that you like, and we'll call it a day. And it's like, thank you, I'm grateful, but like that's not really doesn't feel like a signature guitar. Like we're not really doing anything that resembles me or what I like.
Right.
So this Fender discussion was like, sky is the limit, you know. Literally anything you want. If you want it, screen print a picture of your cat on there, like we could probably do that as well. Might be weird, but we could do it. So like the fact that we could really do something authentic was really exciting. So like I said, I was messing with a couple strats and trying stuff out, and you know, like golf balls are kind of synonymous with Rycooter and like cooter casters, and I didn't want it to come off that way. I wasn't looking to do my own cooter caster. I was just trying different pickups, and I didn't want to do humbuckers because they were just too much. It's like cheat mode or like God mode or something like that. That's for like the video game folks out there. So the discussion started of like what would I want to do, and I thought of like my two favorite Fender guitars that I own. One is a '68 custom shop Strat, and one is my Jazzmaster, also a custom shop. And the Strat I've had for almost 15 years. The neck on that guitar is like the best neck I've ever played. So that neck is on the Jazzmaster when that was made. And then, you know, the Jazzmaster, I love that guitar. I love the look of it, the aesthetic, like that Lake Placid blue. That was a big cosmetic part. And the sound of it is amazing, but I never really identified fully as an offset Jazzmaster player. I'm really a Strat guy. So I wanted to find a way to find a balance between these, and then the discussion started of what could we do cosmetically, what could we do, you know, internally, and then of course the most important discussion of the sound itself. You know, we started with maybe mini humbuckers, we started with maybe just two Jazzmaster pickups, and I felt like I really loved the neck Jazzmaster pickup, but I always felt the bridge in a Jazzmaster was just a little too thin and not enough meat, but I didn't want like a humbucker or a mini humbucker. And Tim Shaw, who I did the pickups with, he suggested a P90, and historically I haven't really been a big P90 guy, and I think it's just because the guitars I've always played them in was like a Les Paul Special or something like that, very thick sounding, meaty, muddy kind of sound, beautiful sounding guitar.
Woolly.
Woolly, yeah, and I was just open to it again. I was like, let's try it out. And when I got the first set, I was like, yeah, we got it. It was just, it was perfect. Felt like this is nothing like gold foils. These are nothing like humbuckers. They look like cool P90s, but like this is totally, while it's very simple. Like I love simple. The guitar is super simple.
Mm-hmm.
It was just, for me, it was just perfect right out the gate. The sound.
Absolutely, and I like simple too. You know, it's, you know, last thing. I mean, as much. I mean, I grew up in the '70s, so for me, you know, it was always cool to have like a, you know, somebody got a BC Rich bitch, but it was like, how do you fly that thing? I mean, there was so many knobs and switches on it. It was like, and there's like a map somebody put out of what it all does, and I was like, oh no, 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 no,
God, yeah. I
that's
mean,
just too much.
you know, to each their own, of course. Like
Yes.
some people love the more like complex, intense kind of setup.
Yeah.
I just don't. I have always liked to. Same with amps. Same with pedals.
Mhm.
I like to turn it on, and it sounds amazing right away. I don't want to have to search or like mess with stuff to find
Yeah.
it, like find the sweet spot. I want it to be there right away. So
Yeah, I agree.
I'm very much like a set it and forget it type of guy.
I'm totally with you.
It's like a true working man or woman's tool.
Yeah.
And like,
Well, yeah,
yeah,
yeah, you and I talked about this once before, which was like you are that guy who you set everything and then everything is at the volume and tone control for you.
yeah, still is.
Everything's happening there. Um, yeah, I totally agree with you. See, like that Strat I have there in the back there, that with the one pickup, I found that I was all my Strats I was playing. I was like, I'm always at the front pickup. I was like, all right, well, you know what? And then I'm always fiddling, going, okay, maybe this sound good here, maybe this sound good here. It's like, wait a minute, I need to just play. You know, it's like shut up and play. You know, shut up and play your guitar, as Frank Zappa would say. Um, so I said, let me just take one of my guitars and do that. You know, volume and a tone, a good pickup in the neck, and just leave it at that. I ended up building two more like that, and it forces me to concentrate on what I'm doing in the moment, playing and creating.
Huh.
Simple
Yeah.
as that. And then if I do need, you know, if I do need the bridge pickup or whatever, you know, and I find so many Strat bridge pickups to be too glassy, ice picky, you know what I mean? That's one of the reasons I do like the Silver Sky. Silver Sky's got they're balanced all the way through, so that works. I don't know. Have you played the Silver Sky at all?
I have, yeah. I'm in the commercial
Oh, that's right, you
for
are.
the
Yeah, you
SC.
did the SE. That's right. That's
Yeah,
right. That was epic.
great guitar.
Yeah. So I got a question then. Did they give you one?
Yeah, I have one of those.
That's cool. That was nice of them to do that.
Actually, I had one before,
Oh, you did. You had the
for a couple of
core.
years from John actually. So
Yeah.
I had some time to mess around with it, and yeah, they're great guitars.
Yeah, I dig them. Um, so last time we talked, you were just coming out of a time where you had been working really a lot and you were at a point where you're like, I haven't written anything in about 3 weeks.
Mm.
But since that time, it seems to me, based on the amount of content that's come out and all the things you've been doing, is that you have been really working hard and really at it.
Well, the truth is, I'm always at it, but I write. My writing is kind of seasonal. And when we last chatted, like you were saying, my second record, Headway, had just come out, and the typical process for me is, when I don't remember when we chatted exactly. You said it was the summer, right? Of
August of
Okay.
21, yeah.
So at that point, I think I would have started like, oh God, no. I had already, yeah, I was already way into writing my next record, but I may have just meant that I was just didn't do anything for a few weeks. I tend to like when I'm working on a current record, I can't, I just don't have the capacity to write anything else. I'm so just focused on that. And then
That
once
makes
it's
sense.
done, once I've like said, okay, boom, send it off, it's finished, then I can start thinking clearly again and moving forward. So everyone's a little different. Some people write all the time. I'm so seasonal. I can't write on tour. I can't, like, it's just, I have to be in that mindset.
Yeah, I heard you say that with Corey Wong. You had said that you don't write on the road. So
Yeah. Like if there's like an opportunity to do a writing session with someone on the road, that's kind of different. But like, we're on the road, it's constant travel, constant
yeah,
checking into hotels, sound checking, sitting around, and then playing a show and packing up and leaving and doing it all over again. I just don't have the mental or like physical capacity or bandwidth to do that.
yeah. I think I get that though because really, you're you allow focus to the task at hand. You know that type of compartmentalizing to really deliver the task at hand. So when you're recording a record, yeah, when you're recording the record, it's about focus, and that's probably why everything sounds so damn good. You
Oh,
know,
well, thank you.
yeah, I
Who
mean,
knows? That's just the way it works for me. I touring is all about just maintaining, getting through the tour, and like physically, mentally, and
Yeah,
when there's time to rest, I really take that time to rest
yeah.
rather than filling it with like, oh, I should be writing or I should be taking a session right now.
No, I can relate.
There's a time and a place for it. Like certain
Yeah,
opportunities, yeah, you're gonna just do it.
yeah,
Otherwise, I kind of try to really just live it myself and like have balance.
yeah. No, I can relate to that. I mean, I don't. As much as I enjoyed the time on stage, I never enjoyed everything else around it. So, you get whatever it was, 45 minutes, an hour, or 90 minutes, depending on who you were playing with or you were headlining. And then after that, it was always, okay, hurry up and wait for everything else.
Well, yeah, I always say the part. I mean, the work part is the other 22 and a half hours of the day. The
Absolutely.
show part is the thing you do for free. But you gotta make the most of it. You gotta surround yourself with great people that you love and
Hmm.
enjoy spending time with, and you gotta find enjoyment in the travel and the different restaurants every day in different cities and the different hotels. You have to find enjoyment in that, and I do. I like that
Yeah.
element of touring. It's just balance, moderation.
Yeah.
So like, it's great to do it, but enough
Yeah.
where you don't start to resent it and
Yeah.
get sick of it and just want to be at home. So you find a balance of all that stuff.
For sure. Yeah. You've got some stuff coming up. Well, August, you're going to be with Corey in, for the, that summer camp,
Yep.
right? That's coming up in August. And then, was it the 13th of August? I think it is. And that sounds like a lot of fun. But after that, when you get into about October, I think you're going to be going all the way into middle of December,
Yep. We're going to
right?
be in Austin too.
Yeah, I already have a ticket for that. I'll be there for that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
November, I want to say, is it November? I should just check.
that's November 12th in
November
Austin.
12th at
Yeah,
Antone's. Yeah.
yeah, at Anton's. And great room, one of the best
Great.
sounding rooms in the city.
Yeah. We've done Antone's.
Yeah,
Always have a great time.
yeah,
Yeah. Going to be fun. Can't wait.
yeah. Looking forward to it. I wanted to talk to you a little bit about the Mile End records.
Sure.
These records have been, for me personally, have been these. So I went ahead. I obviously I did my digital downloads of them because I believe in buying the record and then streaming the shit out of it. That's what we say at the end of every show. If you enjoy the music that you hear, go ahead and buy it and then stream the shit out of it. Um,
Nice.
but so what I did was on Spotify, I went ahead and I created a playlist just called Posen,
Hmm.
and it's the all three Mile End records in order, and then the record that you did with Ash right after that. These records have become such an inspiration for me that whenever I'm feeling like kind of hollow, like nothing's happening, I'm not feeling it. I don't want to. I don't want to play. I get those moments where I'm just like, I just need a break with all the other stuff that I'm doing. Like, I just don't want to play right now. I'll put those on, or just to chill out, I'll put those on, and I'm immediately inspired to pick up the guitar.
Love to hear it.
They're so good, and I know they were just kind of off the cuff, right?
Yeah. The Ash one too. In fact, the Ash one
Well, yeah, you
is
named the first song, the first thing we did.
yeah, it's just a duo version of essentially a Mile End. It's to a degree. I think the Mile End thing is a bit more abstract, and there'd be
Yeah,
times where I'd bring very rarely like an existing idea, or like there's been a time or two where I've just done a song of mine that already exists. I think I've only done that twice, on the second and the third one. But yeah, the real, yeah, the special part about those records is just improvising and seeing what comes of it. In fact, when we chatted August 21, so the first Mile End, the first single of that came out in September the next month, and then the album came out the following month. So that had already been recorded in November of 2020. That first one,
Oh,
and
wow.
and if you want the whole story behind it, it was lockdown times, and I was just trying to think of ways to, I don't know, do something fun and get some content. I guess I had no intentions of making a record. Went to a studio and hired a videographer, and I just said, just get some cool like one take shots of all this. I'm just gonna make some stuff up, and we'll see what happens. And there was just something in the air that night. I think what was in the air really was just a lack of pressure, because there was no goal or intention in mind. I was just creating and having fun in my own world.
Hmm.
And yeah, I sat on that project for a really long time, 6 or 7 months, and then told it was just like the Headway came out, but it was also still COVID time, so I wanted something to support it and follow it up, and the world opened up again, so like we had started touring again in September of that year. So I just said, like, I think I want to put this out as like a little record, and it's hard for me to call it an album when in comparison, when I put out an actual album of like songs, it's so much work and time between the writing, the recording, and the mixing, and all. Like the Mylan thing is such a quick process, but I just believed in putting it out because it was like a different form of expression from what I'd usually do, and there wasn't blowback, but at first there was maybe slight confusion and about like, why would you put this out? And then I said, just trust me, I want to put it out, and really glad I did. That first one had such a great reception, and then I was feeling like I wanted to follow it up, so like I did a second one, and I found that one to be very difficult because I was trying to replicate some of the magic, and I thought it was horrible when I did it, and then when I listened, I went, okay, no, it's good. It worked out. And then I was like, I think I'm gonna do a third one. And when I did the third one, I didn't have a feeling of like this one's bad because I'm trying to replicate. I had more of this like chapter closing feeling of like, you know what? This is great. This went well, but I think I'm gonna cap it at 3. I don't want to like overexpose this concept, and I don't want to, when like you love a movie and like they do 10 movies in the series, and by the 10th one you're like, why are they still making these? Like it sucks now. I want to like pay respect to the project itself, and that's why I kind of capped it. Didn't kind of cap it. I've capped it at 3 as a trilogy, and then yeah, I'm kind of jumping all over the place, but the Ash record, which and that whole project, there was no intention originally of doing anything with it. We just jammed, and it turned out to be kind of really cool. And it's kind of taken the place of like the solo record kind of concept, improvisational side of my music. At least for now, who knows? Maybe nothing is ever written in stone, but it's kind of the backstory and thinking of how, the last 4 years, almost 5 years now, I guess, of these Mile End improvised records.
It's got to be really cathartic, though, right?
For sure. I mean, I love playing solo and improvising. It's hard for me to. I just struggle calling it a solo album, even though that's exactly what it is, or like solo guitar music, when there's so many amazing guitar players that primarily play as soloists, and they come up with integral arrangements, and they're actually songs. I just kind of come up with a theme and an idea or a head, and I kind of just
Oh,
around it. So
it's obvious. It's obvious you're very hard on yourself. But I got to tell you, the stream of consciousness aspect of these records are wildly inspiring to the listener. As far as, okay, here he is, he's doing this, and he's taking us someplace, and we don't know where we're going to go. I mean, honestly, I've listened to these records over and over and over, and every time I listen to it, I hear something new.
Oh, nice. Love
And
that.
honestly, I think you got to cut yourself some slack. There's, to me, I mean, think about it. Let's look. I mean, whether you like the band or not, you two found their own sound, right? They were who they are. They were these young people who barely could play their instruments, and they utilized what they had in front of them to make music. And ultimately, isn't that really what it's all about?
Of course.
Making music and in this stream of consciousness fashion, and your incredible technique, your incredible tone. I mean, it's fantastic. It's brilliant. I
Thank
was
you.
like I was like, wow, man, this is just to hear him play like this. It's almost like as if you're getting a little, you're not in the room, but it's like almost like, oh wow, this is just for me. That's how I felt about it.
That is the idea. That is exactly what it's supposed to be like. I should clarify. Yeah, it's not like I don't consider it a solo record. Or worthy of being called a solo record. I just meant more so when you have guys like Tommy Emmanuel or stuff like that. When
Right, or Buck Andreas, or yeah.
yeah, any of them who it's like the way I would make a record of songs. They're doing that. Like they're pre-writing and pre-arranging. I'm just like the session is 2 hours or 3 hours, and I go that evening. I don't even didn't even think about it when I got before. So I guess like yeah, it's cool because it's a different thing, and I guess I shouldn't even care if it's prearranged or not. Yeah, I don't know what I'm even getting at.
I think you.
I'm just glad you guys are all enjoying it, and
No,
that's what
I
this. That's
everybody's enjoying it. I mean, if you're a guitar player and you hear that, you gotta really sit there and immerse yourself in the spectacle of it all, and the beauty of it all, and the creative nature of it all. That's the cool part for me. It's like, wow, that is so great that he did something like this, and
yeah.
and also to put yourself out there like that. I'm glad. I mean, I don't know if you realize it or not. I'm sure you do, but I'm really glad that you've accepted your place in the world of guitar, and how you've become sort of this, like, you're one of these mainstays now. Especially now. I mean, here you got a Fender signature model, dude. You know what I mean? You have now become, you're not just a singer songwriter, which you're very good at, very good, but you're also this. You've become, in many respects, to some people, a guitar hero.
Right.
How does that feel? You don't seem to be too cool
Oh,
with that.
that's great. It's great. I'm grateful for it all. I was just gonna say that like I make those mild end records. Any record I make really like is for me first and foremost.
Absolutely should be.
But like the fact that there was such a strong reception to the solo stuff, guitar stuff, like it was primarily for the people. Like I know, like if it didn't have such a strong reaction and like what you're saying, your reaction and how it makes you feel, I've heard it a thousand times in different ways, and it hits someone like a different way, or um, brought someone peace in this situation, or did this or like that, or as simple as like I put it on when I'm cleaning the house or like making dinner for. That's
Hmm.
what it's all about. So if it wasn't for so many like positive, just comments and like real strong reception for it, I wouldn't have probably kept them going.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm grateful. I'm grateful for that.
So it was a trilogy, and that's it. So, like,
Yeah, never say never, but for
oh,
for
okay.
now, for now I think it's best. Like I said, I don't want to overexpose it, and there's something special when it ends too. So
Yeah. No, I agree. Yeah.
if you're gonna get used to it, then that takes away all of like the pizzazz around it.
Hmm. Hmm. When when you first started playing slide guitar, who would have been the first person that you felt was an inspiration for that?
For slide guitar, I
Yeah.
first heard like George Harrison when I was like such a
Hmm.
Beatles fan and heard his solo material. But when I was actually playing and getting into it, I was aware and had already seen Derek Trucks. I was aware of Dwayne Allman and who I wasn't. I never really was an Allman Brothers guy. Bonnie Raitt, Ry Cooder, Lowell George, Sonny, you know. But it was a Canadian guy named Kevin Bright who still is probably my favorite slide player. Just a very different approach. Not. I just mean different from your typical slide player who's kind of associated with blues. And he's one of the first guys I heard where we're just like, wow, this is just melody embellishment, like a melody embellishment tool. This has nothing to do with blues. There is nothing bluesy at all about this. It's just music. And
Hmm.
his take on it was so fresh. It wasn't like a novelty kind of thing. And when I heard that, I was like, that's, I want to do my own thing, but that's like what I want to do specifically with slide, my own way,
And
you know?
yeah, and you do really do. I mean, you're one of those players. I mean, obviously with your tone for foremost, and then the slide guitar voicings. I know you use a lot of open tunings and you do the baritone thing. But so if music comes on, if I have like iTunes running in the background and all of a sudden you pop up, I'll be like, oh, okay, I know who that is. And that's super cool when there's that kind of a identification with one note. I mean, there's not a lot of guitar players that can do that. I mean, Jeff Beck, Carlos Santana, I would say Lowell George for sure. Um, but I think you've taken slide guitar to another stylistic place. Um, I can't really, I can't really pinpoint. It's hard for me to say what the difference is between, say, you and Lowell, but I know there's a vast difference between you and Lowell George. Certainly a vast difference between Derek Trucks and you. Derek is really into those Eastern modes, those Middle Eastern modes and stuff like that, which are kind of hard for my ear sometimes. Um, but you have this thing that it's got a blues, but it doesn't. It dips into a jazz type of a thing. Um, what's the theory behind it all for you?
The theory is that when I identify any instrumentalist the same way you do, it's not what they're playing. So for Derek, it's not his choice of notes or scales or modes. It's how it's played. You know, it's how his dynamics or how his vibrato is or how he's literally attacking. And like this is for anyone. I think it actually has very little to do with the information. It's just the how. Sorry, yeah, it's the how.
Mm-hmm.
Um, that's like the most identifying. It's the same because like most people that are copying the Derek thing, no one's gonna sound like him. But like what they've copied and emulated is his how. It's not like necessarily the same. And like, yeah, if they're gonna use similar note choices or licks, that's one thing. But the majority of is they're trying to emulate the motor skills of it all. That's where the real like voice is, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Not
it's funny.
anybody.
Yeah, I was talking to last night. I was talking to Norman Harris from Norm's Guitars in California, and he was saying that his most favorite thing about the guitar is when somebody has a really great vibrato and they make it sound like a human voice. And that's one of the things I think I hear that with you. Um, were you a Jeff Beck fan?
For sure.
Are you a Jeff Beck fan? Yeah, because I hear that vibrato that is very vocal.
Yeah,
Yeah,
definitely a massive Jeff fan.
yeah. Um, your tone and your rig, I feel like since Headway, it has evolved into. And I heard you say that you like your fuzz to sound almost like the what did you say, like a piece of paper that's tearing.
Hmm.
I think you said something like that. I think it was on the Corey Wong show. Um, but has it for you changed dramatically since Headway? Because I hear a difference.
No, no,
No, it's the same
no. I
rig.
mean, the core things I use, and the same approach is there. There's just I'm evolving in terms of what I like to listen to, and that informs some choices of my own. And like, you always want to evolve. You don't always just. I don't want to, like, the reason you think it's changed is because I'm purposely chasing new sounds and trying to not just make the same record over and over, like the same sounds over and over. But the truth is, it go just like the voice you're talking about with like identifying someone's voice. It's how I'm using these things that it's like it's the same thing, but experimenting differently within the same stuff. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
I'm not. Like I said, I'm a very set it and forget it. In the studio, you I'll try anything. I'll play anything that's around. It's not like I just need to use one thing, but the core things that work for me, I keep those close in regards to, like, that's part of how I get my sound and how I can control the sound in my head to get it out. Do you know what I mean?
Right, right.
So way less change than you probably think. But yeah, of course I'm trying different things all the time, and
Mm-hmm.
they make their way onto records and stuff like that.
Thought it was really cool that you guys got to play on the Fender factory floor. That must have been amazing.
Yeah, yeah, that was cool. Been to many factories now, and I've been there before, to in Corona there, but it never fails. Like, we always take for granted how much time and effort goes into building guitars, and like how many hands touch it, and how many things it goes through to get to where when you pick one off the shelf and you play a G chord and you go meh, there's so much that goes into it. It's crazy.
Yeah, yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, do you believe in mojo?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. I mean, it's true. There are some guitars, and like we were saying earlier about Strats. There's some Strats I picked up, and it's like this is a limp noodle. It's dead. It's a potato chip. It's just has no. There's nothing going on here. And then you pick up another one, and it's like, uh-oh, I'm in trouble. I'm gonna have to buy this now.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
know.
that's the thing for sure.
Um,
I look at guitars differently now. I kind of just see, I know what I like and I'm looking for. So
mhm.
even if I pick one up and, well, like you said, the mojo is there, but maybe it plays like shit, or it doesn't have like the. I know that can be tweaked to get it to where I like it.
Right, right. It's a matter of whether or not you want to.
To a degree, yeah.
Um, so this is a self-serving question. Are they going to make your guitar left-handed?
Are you a lefty?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I'm realizing that now because I thought maybe your screen was mirrored or something.
No, no, I'm lefty.
It is a custom shop guitar, so
Yeah, so I
I
guess I could
I
order
don't
it that way.
I don't see any reason why it wouldn't be available left-handed.
Yeah. Okay,
Yeah.
that's cool. So beyond the tour, what else is coming up for you
Well,
that you can talk about?
well we yeah, we have all these big tour dates, which is going to take up all of the fall. It's going to be great. Ash and I have a show in London at the end of August,
Cool.
and we're about to release vinyl for the record that we did, and you could very likely expect new music from me. If you watched the From the Factory Floor video, you would have heard a new song.
Mm-hmm.
and that's the only place that's living at the moment. So if you put the dots together, you might,
Nice.
yeah,
Will that be in the new year?
who knows?
Ah, I see. Okay.
Who knows?
All right. Excellent. Well, thanks for doing this, man, on a Sunday.
My pleasure, man. Thanks for having me again. Good to catch up. We'll see you.
Absolutely.
Look forward to seeing you in Austin.
I'll see you in November. Thanks a bunch.
My pleasure.
Peace.